Well, the fact they continue to do this with stand-ins after stand-ins.
Good.
Yeah, there's no more conversation about device. I think that's a good point raised by the desk. This is just the team we have in play, but a bunch of utility out early for MOUZ. An aggressive stance here from Rez. He's posturing to take a pot shot second mid. Hampus needs to make sure he doesn't go down in the interim, and they'll back on off. So a little bit of information gained early, but not a lot either way, as classic MOUZ Sports style here at EPL, slow.
Yeah, Torzi's got the info, and Plopsky is not going to buckle. That's the flash lined up. Dexter to flash Torzi and MBK in. Turns nicely. Fozy loses his duel. Needed something. It's MBK that takes them both down. Essetag spoke his name, has stood up. And a Kit, no armor, so vulnerable now to that first shot out of the Glock. Bymas has managed to go around the world onto Rez, catches the aggression, and then some. Hampus, a lot of responsibility on his shoulders. He's alone on A. Bymas can open up the site if he could just finish the fight. Now A's open, and the round is lost.
Ooh, okay. Essetag now. A 1-on-4 becomes a 1-on-3. Torzi executed, and he does have the Kit on his back. Picked up the Glock, though, old Essetag, so maybe he wants the extra bullets?
Sure, maybe he's a bit of a Glock expert. I mean, there is a very small universe. It looks like he may just get caught out by the first good read. He's aware that this possibility, looking for info, was frozen, and on the retreat now. Get some graffiti done.
I think this one is done as well. Look at the time now. Bomb almost halfway ticked here. 3 Ts to find. And the crossfire that they've set up. Bymas is in library, frozen towards side. Dexter in the pit. No way, Jose.
I mean, you can thank NBK for that one, right? You're not causing that many rotates and chaos. Isolating Hampus the way you did without that double. Flashed in by Dexter.
I really want to try and sing the praises of MBK early, because I thought with him returning, I didn't think we were going to be getting an awful lot out of him. But yesterday we saw impact in terms of closing out rounds in clutches and opening out rounds, and then you get to see another example of that right here. So as the elder statesman of the squad, the most experienced, a major winner, right? Yeah. Don't forget, he's in the server here winning the pistol round for his team.
I'd also say he could be a great opportunity for us to continue our case study in the theory that it's not necessarily just age that separates and pulls you away from being at the peak of Counter-Strike, but perhaps it is also your passion and drive. He made it very clear his drive is there.
Yeah.
So we can see how that finds and how that fares for him. Deagles and indeed some sidearm. Get to see the CZ in action.
You know what's funny about that, right? We're talking about dedication. I'm sure a lot of people can kind of relate to that. Oh, we've just got a text. So this is perfect for me to go on a little bit of a tangent here about our lives, and everybody at home, I'm sure, can relate to this, right? You know, there's one thing about saying you want to do something, and there's one thing about actually following through, right? Like, I know that I want to be fit and healthy.
Yeah.
But following through on being fit and healthy is actually quite a difficult thing, right? Now, being passionate about Counter-Strike and wanting to be one of the best Counter-Strike players in the world, you've got the tools, you know you need to watch the demos, and you know you need to dedicate yourself to the game. But doing all those things after winning a major, after being a pro for the better part of a decade, it's not easy to do. Your priorities in life shift, and if you can't keep that as the #1 priority and the #1 focus, you're not going to contend with the big boys. It's just a matter of fact.
But put yourself in MBK's shoes. He has tasted the very, very peak of that mountain. He's explored everything it has to offer in his mind. He felt like he'd seen it all, done it all. You step away, you watch as the new generation are living the life you lived, and you can't help but feel you're not quite done. You know, and to be given the opportunity when those feelings do arise, I'm sure that's going to put you in a position where you do just come in with that new 100% focus. Forrest, when we spoke to him in the interviews asking how do you stay on top of your game, how are you continuing to maintain the degree of form you are and were, and his answer was similar. He just felt like he'd managed to strike a balance. He wasn't gaming and fragging as hard as, you know, the 20-year-old Forrest was, and he wasn't chasing the dream in the same capacity, but with all of that skill set built, he could dedicate enough of himself to it.
I think if you take a look at the way that the Counter-Strike has been playing out for MOUZ Sports in this tournament as well here, right, and their Twitter handle is still MOUZ Sports. So, you know, until they get that changed, I feel like I've got a technicality. But all in all, when I look at the way that they've been playing, it's so much more about situational Counter-Strike than it is necessarily about just heads-up fights, because they play so slowly, right? And we saw a lot of spread-out 1v1s and lurky boy maneuvers and impact kills. And because of that, I feel like you don't need to have the sharpest aim in the world. It helps, but you don't necessarily need it with the way they're approaching the game.
Plus, if you are looking for someone to take heads-up duels, Torzi's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Frozen's good for it. Bymas ready to prove himself. This is definitely no absence of that. And with the ninjas on screen, I do also want to give a quick pop out to Rez. You know, eyes on him for this year. He demonstrated in their game yesterday what happens when he does just go on kill mode, and you know, you just end up seeing him walking into sites without smokes and winning rounds. These individuals certainly have the capacity for it. It's just a question of fitting that in around a built structure.
I think the deal with this NiP roster here is, and you got Fozy on screen right now. Now, look, this team has chopped and changed that 5th man position a lot. LNZ, ZTR, look, we can continue to go down the list. But the players that they have in the server right now, the ones that have been here for a decent chunk of time, Rez, Hampus, and Plopsky, right? The thing is, in different splotches, we've gotten different levels out of each of them, right? So Plopsky wasn't having the best of times over, I'd say, the last year. If he can start to perform better and join Hampus, if Rez can have a bit more consistency, then you're starting to talk about a backbone of the team that can be strong, right? And I like the way that Maui, it was either Maui or Allen. I don't want to give praise. I'll give praise to both. When they were talking about NiP the other day, they were talking about that they have a high floor, right? And I can agree with that sentiment in a big way, because the team is doing better than they should be, considering the problems that they're having, right? And then you just had the desk as well. I want to continue to build on this conversation, one that can go both ways. The coaches behind both of these teams, these are like the new gen coaches, and they're getting sharp tools to use. And you're getting to see what their philosophy and the way they approach the game with the combo of the in-game leaders. I spoke to DJL over there in Katowice, and just after we had exchanged a couple of sentences, I was already impressed. I was like, okay, yeah, this guy seems legit,
That's what
right?
he's talking about.
So, and that's the thing, right? It's hard to imagine being a coach in today's era. Like, how do you prove yourself?
Oh, but you've just talked about it. This We Play Academy League, not only getting us new talent, but getting us new coaching talent. You know, there wasn't a portal or a way in to showing what you're capable of and demonstrating it through results in an official capacity. We have had that, and already we're seeing Cyclone and DJL hanging out behind the rosters, changing, and you know, big shoes to fill as well, especially for Ninjas in Pajamas. Like, how long has NiP Threat been an iconic pairing?
All right, well,
in 2-second round. If you did just join us, this isn't a podcast, but it is our second round of Inferno. A quick tech hitch. We did see MOUZ quite convincingly convert the pistol off the back of an MBK banana take. And now we're ready for some pistols and some Kevlar.
Now, I think this is fixture of the day, no doubt, but I'm interested to see how MOUZ Sports are able to operate with this slow approach and how NiP responds. Straight into B we go. Here comes the util.
Yeah, not looking shabby. They've got the bodies here, and actually, Plopsky strikes as Fozy lives. Plopsky, 2 on the clip. Now opts to repair and reload. No issues for them so far. And now they're forced to Scarper. Yeah, Hampus is there in time.
Was Rez just dropped a smoke towards short here? That's going to lock them out.
Ooh, good tag. Torzy's chasing that. He's got the bomb. He's got to go not get greedy. And that's the bomb delivered to Hampus on the corner. Oh, you can see what he was thinking, but caught out, could lose out now. 2v5. Oh, they're just going to get run down. Look at the damage. Well, NiP, all they have to do is hold fast.
I think save might be the idea with these Galils right here, boys. Don't give these up. Don't hand these over. You've already considered the round. There's 20 seconds left on the clock, and the Deagle bullets keep coming.
And they'll get 2 SMGs and a scout minimum.
Yeah, so look, it is a great round for NiP to pick up, but MOUZ trying to make the best of a bad situation. You can see Frozen and Bymas tucking tail and trying to hide over towards alt middle. But all those nades just kept getting pumped in from Arch. I think that was 3 in total landing on the toes right there, softening them up. But it got desperate because they couldn't go at banana. Then Rez's smoke was perfectly timed and perfectly placed over towards short, meaning, well, we either wait that out or we take some space. And if you go long, well, that's where the rotation was coming back over from. So good stuff from the Ninjas.
So you know how, like, when you drop the smokes to the B player, they've been rolling. Rush posted a clip of how comically they can roll. Would it destroy the game in any way for Valve to just patch that the buckets are clipped on Inferno, so you could just drop them all in the bucket and then pick them out? You could have a nade bucket.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. It could actually make for a fun, if everybody knew that people were storing the nades there. And funny. Look, I'm not sure how the actual mechanic would play out, but I like the idea.
I'm gonna send an email.
Okay.
Guys, nade buckets. Let's make it happen. Round 3, and that, speaking of nades, that's perfect on the corner. Oh, and Frozen evades just by tucking into the stairs.
So this is all through second mid here. It's just Torzy dealing with banana and mid on his lonesome right now. The other 4 up alt mid. And if you take a little bit of a look right-hand side of your screen, they have a smoke, a flash, and, well, a molly, which you just saw getting thrown across. They can smoke off long, right? They can molly over towards porch. There's a lot of options here that they can go for, but the thing is you want to get some space off the back of this. Esatag aggressive in banana, could be quick on the flank here.
Yeah, it's up to Esatag's perception and the comms of his A defenders. There's 3 there set up. Currently looks like
off this.
Plopsky could set him up with this, and that... Okay, Torzy, he's done very well to not take too much damage over the course of holding this. It is a question of, and when he leaves, and how much sound he makes. Rez considering a short swing. Fozy to call for backup should they commit. 45, this is the fight. Get the info, swing across, long lost. Hampus and Rez batten down the hatches. Good damage, safe distance, double tag. P250's dangerous. Dexter's managed to save himself and his squad. First blood drawn, time sensitive. If they can find Rez from the Apps player. Hampus is not holding it, but Rez still set for success on the short pillar. Running out on time, Dexter's very low. They just have to find Rez, and Bymas late from the Apps. He managed that very well. He wasn't too quick to the trigger. Rest should fall into place now. It is just your B defenders.
Yeah, it's a save situation on the other side of things. It's SMGs at MP7 and a bloody MAC-10 in their hands here, so it's not the best to carry on through. But MOUZ did so much with very little right there. ESL having a look. Plopsky's doing the same. Ships in the night between Halls and Boiler.
Their exit's going to be really difficult, right, Chad? Like, this could end. Yeah. This could end with like no one alive, even though the round's going their way. ESL knows he can punish. Any damage is golden. NBK will live in the pit, but Bymas and Frozen, they have to run. They have to run, and they will get away in time. Bymas charging towards CT spawn. All good in the hood as the frags come through.
Back and forth we go. So the Force by War seemed to be a bit of a fixture here for the MOUZ Sports games. We saw yesterday when they were taking on G2 a bit of the same. They were good at winning out the second rounds or bouncing back within the early stages. So nice stuff. And this one smoke that they threw, we've highlighted this a lot. It was something that Fnatic used to do back in the heyday. It's the one that lands mid-long. Now, the positioning of it is very key because it forces your long defender, right, to have to go back to CT Arch. He can't spot from Library. He has to be CT Arch, which makes him disconnected from the rest of his A defenders here. But M4 is out in the hands of ESL. Hamster's taking a lot of damage and a kill. MBK is down. That's first blood.
Yo, Hampus, brave on that one. You knew they were posted up. You knew they had a weapon advantage on you. Still gets away with it. Nade and Deagle combination. They have given them top banana, and that Sandbags Molotov indicates as such. Plopsky's fingertips spotted. The counter flash is swallowed. Dexter, only with the silenced M4, he has Torsi in tow, and Frozen and Bymas just maintaining that mid control.
No utility to lock them out here other than the smoke on Rez and the molly on Plopsky. So this one you see top banana is on a timer here. Fozy's still maintaining that mid control from Arch side, so a lot of information gathered and garnered.
But if they continue to trade rounds, dude, it's starting to trend that way.
It's all going to come down to Plopsky's molly here because they are starting to set up for a B play. You see 3 in banana right now. Bymas is going to join the tail end of this pack. They've got 2 smokes, 1 for Coffin, 1 for CT, the molly for sight, and the flashes, so they can make this work. Where is Plopsky going to drop this Molotov here?
Yeah, Hampus has got another one with the Deagle.
Excuse me?
2 on the way in. Now you drop the incendiary, and that will buy time. Rotates on its way. Fozy arrives. Smoke for CT absent, or rather fading. Hampus very low. If his crosshair's not far from Bymas. Bymas 1. Damage done. Now they fill the feed. 3 in quick succession. Should open up the site for a plant.
Okay, well, that smoke, as you mentioned, subsided, but another one gets dropped. And maybe ESL and Rez are considering the save here. It is the rifle you want to keep hands on. Rez would be good to pick himself up something on the way out the door, but feels like MOUZ have done enough to convert here. 2 consecutive rounds. The first to do so in map numero uno.
That's Number Wang. Number Wang.
Ah, okay.
It's a British sketch show.
Oh, all right.
David, what is it? It's Mitchell and Webb. Mitchell and Webb look.
I haven't seen it.
Have you seen the YouTube clip where they're wearing all the spiky helmets and the skulls and they go, "Are we the baddies?"
No.
Okay, wow.
I'm an uncultured swine.
Yeah, it's a good sketch. Good. That's probably like 1-2 seasons worth. Good memes, good references. Shout out to my UK lot that might have understood what I was saying. Mitchell and Webb look, is it? I think so.
You talking about home made me think about home.
Yeah, go on.
And you know how there's the Australian shop in Cologne?
Yeah.
I haven't had Vegemite for the better part of 6 months now.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to venture down. I was just thinking if there's one in Dusseldorf, there isn't. I'll have to venture down on the train.
I got really excited the other day because Marmite liked my tweet.
Oh.
Didn't follow me. I thought I got a Marmite follow.
Yeah.
And I was on my way to a brand ambassadorship.
You know what? Marmite and Vegemite could come together and then we could do something.
Why don't we make it like a pitch deck? Like, guys, yeast extracts and esports.
Actually, now we're talking.
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking. Take it.
Why is yeast extract just feel like I'm not supposed to say out loud?
Yeah, it does seem a bit filthy, doesn't it?
Yeah, anyway, I'm glad that ESL is hanging out with this M4 because it gives me something else to talk about.
And the yeast extract.
And yeah, well, there you go again. I mean, Hampus' Deagle was potent, got 2 in the previous, albeit with MOUZ eventually converting. Let's see what he's up to again. He's going for another little solo mission. Bong! Torsi's having none of it.
What about a potent yeast extract?
Yeah, well, that is what Marmite is. Vegemite's a little softer, I think. You guys haven't got the palate for that Marmite.
Well, this is going to be a difficult round here for NiP, and considering Hampus has already gone down, it's a scenario where I just want to point this out. On the radar, you can see ESL position is actually over towards CT spawn. So if it's a B commit, he doesn't have to sit in the site and die, right? He can actually just go back to CT and save the M4, and if it's A, well, then he can just cower in the B bomb site and carry that forward for another round of play. But this is MOUZ doing what we've seen them do over the last 2 days. Slow, hit pause, wait for a reaction. Very methodical.
Yeah, hard to poke holes in, especially considering the teams in their group. This could be enough, not if Rez tracks you like that. Great understanding of the angles. Plopsky, fair enough with the push. Only the USP to contribute. Tucking in is Fozy. He's known though, and Molly arrives. So does the headshot, and MBK neutralizes the threat.
Rez needs another.
Yeah, he needs two, and there's pre-fires. Nice movement again. MBK good for the pair of frags. Round converted. And I mean, just to return to that point, I mean, I'd like to hear your take in terms of if you're MOUZ, you didn't just play Katowice with your full roster. You're just looking for consistency at this point. And so, you know, the slow pace that admittedly has not always benefited them. Oh, ESL.
He's showing off. I think, like...
I saw JKS pull that off.
Yeah, and it's not easy, and we didn't get excited about it as much as we should. That's actually a very hard jump. ESL a movement specialist.
He is.
So, I just derailed... Well, ESL just derailed it. You're talking about no full roster.
I didn't realize it said USP on that.
Oh.
You see it says USP?
Yeah.
It's just...
In, like, train station graffiti writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Wow.
You were talking about not playing Katowice with your full roster.
Yes, bingo, right.
It's about the style of Counter-Strike?
It was, yeah. So essentially, you know, does this compute with what Cyclone's game plan would be and just integrating Bymas back in? Surely you've got teams with stand-ins. You know they're going to be loosey-goosey. Just go with something that you can pull off, dare I say it, play their own game and just get drilled at that.
Yeah, well, I think that the way that they're approaching the matchup with all these pauses is also something at the moment, because we know that the CTs are so proactive in Counter-Strike currently. There's always, like, after you lose an opening pick, you're always looking for a mid-round maneuver. So the way that they're doing this is allowing the game to come to them after the openings, and sometimes even the openings are a little bit slow too. But yeah, this is what you'd want to build first, your defaults, right? The fact that you can play slow. And once then you've got that, then you can start throwing in a variation. Right. You can add a bit more to the playbook. And they've only had this year since this roster we're seeing right now has come together. So it's going to take time, but damage down through the smoke and, well, down. It's more back the other way. Plopsky and ESL are the two to suffer the early damage.
Also cool to see that Dexter can perhaps return to a little bit more of that lurky boy maneuvers.
Yeah, when I played against Dexter back in Australia, he was only a little bit of a whippersnapper, didn't have his 4 children back then that he left at home.
And his accountancy firm.
Yes, he was very annoying to play against. Like when I was like an A anchor, he would always be the guy lurking at apps while I'm rotating to B, and it was a bit frustrating. But, well, speaking of Dexter, he goes down. Fozy's found one through the smoke here.
Yeah, Frozen completely slips in there. I think Raz is patient enough to perhaps catch Torzy should he join. Frozen...
There's a gap. They're not expect... Oh, no, actually, Fozy has eyes on Ish.
That's his responsibility at least, but it is unconfirmed. And here comes the AWP. Yeah, hard to pre-aim that one. You'd feel very vulnerable to the pillars on short. So therefore, 2 down for MOUZ. This looks and reeks like an NiP second. Let's see if that boat can be rocked in any way.
Oh, the timing on this.
Yeah, he's going to get him on the repeat. Frozen, not ready. Fozy was, and now just a matter of time. NBK, part of this formality, lingering in the smoke for a little B finish, 20 seconds. And admittedly, this is a 2v2 right now. I mean, they could
hit these shots.
If they could hit these shots, but understandably, Plopsky's being very passive. Quite indicative of their setup, you'd imagine, just as they mantle. Bymas trades, but time very light. You need the transfer. Good God, Bymas. Not far off the mark. He's been trying a couple of them. Remember on Mirage, that was nearly a spicy pair, but no, not to be. Pear is a really overrated fruit, wouldn't you say?
I think they're a bit soft. I feel like an old person fruit.
Yeah, it's like a bad apple.
It's probably good for me, actually.
Yeah, maybe you should get into the pear lifestyle.
Get into the pears. Me and Cassard, we can start peeling some pears.
Or maybe I just haven't, you know, fully embraced the pear in the same way I've embraced the, the popular fruits.
There's a thing called was it a nashi pear? I think it's like a pear, but with the texture of an apple.
Ooh, you have my attention.
Yeah.
I used to just eat them in my lunchbox, but that's because my mum didn't love me. Enough for an apple.
Well,
Dexter's gone, and that's all the util as well. There's more behind him, but that's rifles, and NBK, another big one on Banana. He's actually got a brilliant track record. He sticks around on the fade. Plopsky will not allow it. Yeah, Torzy's gonna swallow that one a little bit too much as well. So, very early frags this time around. We are going to be seeing a very different mid-round. You can see Bomb T spawn. It is going to be Bymas' responsibility to somehow live, but make it feel like there's presence. And good luck with that mission.
I think it's important that MOUZ tried a round like this because it is going to keep the CTs honest with their util. One of the last things if you have a slow approach is the CTs know it, and then they just hold on to their smokes and mollies for the extra 20 to 30 seconds at the start of the round, and then your life becomes a living hell. So you need to get away with a couple of maneuvers like this to force out that util. 48 seconds on the clock. And, well, they can go for a bit of a B execute if they'd like. you can see how passive Fozy and Rez are over towards A. There's very little information B other than the audibles of this util.
They threw both their smokes. That has to be the commit then. Are they just hoping maybe the rotate? Yeah, being Rez is not going to be moving a muscle, but actually Hampus is falling speedway. I think he was thinking the fake. Yeah, he is. He's gobbling this bait up. They throw 2 smokes B. Now the commit's there.
Oh, nice.
Plopsky doesn't need help though. Takes down the crucial head of Torzi on pool.
Pop's losing that.
Okay, well actually, MOUZ gave that a really good shot. The CTs did bite the bait, but Plopsky does not Flopsky.
Well, that's one of the things here, right, is also over-rotating late. That's why late-round plays can be so effective, because you've got a choice as the CT. When you see all the nades coming in, do we believe it, right? Because right there they stayed quiet behind that util, or, right, do we just sit and wait and hope that we've made the right call? So in that scenario, they actually pulled Hampus where they needed to be, but Plopsky in a very passive position towards the back of site delivers the necessary kills, and now we see MOUZ on the pistolas. P250s, Glocks. What's your favorite pistol, Alex?
If I had to choose, it's got to be the P250.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it the bang for the buck?
It's the bang for the buck, but also the fact that I haven't whiffed as much with it as I have with the 5.7.
Sure.
Like, part of me wants to say the 5.7, like I should be capable. I see players using it and utilizing it to the best of their ability, but something about that's the sound of it just doesn't feel as intimidating.
Okay, fair enough. I see what you're doing.
You see what I'm saying? I've just been told that, as we knew, the ZS in Torshi is pronounced like the J
I can't do it.
in Mirage.
I can't do it.
Torshi.
I can't do it. It's not that I don't want to do it. It's that my mouth doesn't go that way.
No.
I really do apologize for that.
But
I can't.
We had this with Ziwu, pronunciations, but yeah, there is a limit, and I appreciate it, Akos. But I think we're going to keep it for consistency's sake. Dexter's got 1, and that's more than you would have bargained for. Fozy, brave to throw the AWP on his back and potentially catch a ding, but nothing to write home about. And now NBK, with his Glock, going on a little adventure. What does the store sell? I've never bothered to look.
I thought we've had this discussion if it was a wolf or a pig.
Well, yeah, but I
think I thought it was a pig, but I think everybody told me it wasn't a pig. Which is fine.
Mare. Sapone di mare.
Is that like, yeah, I got no idea. What is that?
Looks like a hockey puck.
I was going to say, is that
Or is it caviar?
Could be caviar in one of those fancy tins.
I don't know, that's what I'm thinking. Tin, or it's tuna. Di mare. Isn't that fruit de mare? Like fruits of the sea?
We just discussed with the Torzi thing.
Yeah,
I'm still learning the difference between the Balkans and the Baltics. Heku's teaching me every day, mate. We're having lessons.
Yep.
She brings out the map. She goes, this.
Geography and just a little bit of language as well thrown in there.
We were talking about Monacy yesterday, Heku and I. We were having a bit of a chat about him. She was explaining to me that when he was 14, he played for a Latvian team in a, he was standing in for Waro 2K, I believe, or replaced Waro 2K in a tournament. And I don't think he could go to the finals, which were in Thailand, I think she said.
Right.
This is where it gets crazy, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, he got picked up by Na'Vi Academy. And yeah, we're just having a bit of a chat about him.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that's probably the perfect opportunity for him to show his parents, like, it's legit. Hey, Mum, I've got tickets to Thailand, and I'm in a final. Like,
I'm 14.
Oh, this is real. Okay. For me, it was like, I'm going to the race course.
Yeah. Can you drive me? I need to put my PC in the back of the car, Mum.
Yeah. Can we go to Newbury?
All power for Fozy here, so this is going to be a different look. 3-man banana push coming out from Plopsky, Esatag, and, well, the aforementioned Fozy's AWP. Rez and Hampus to deal with A in the interim here, and MOUZ taking their time through this. They were in the economical. Now that the big boys are back out. Very deep banana smoke here. Now, they can wait this out. There's no dramas, no qualms. And one of the things they could also do with Fozy set up is park him here, right? Allow the AWP to take this long-range fight. Dex is actually coming back under through the chicken pit. Looks like Frozen's starting to backpedal his way down middle as well. So retaking this part of the map, it will be simple. A flash over the top, Fozy will be blind. He'll take a pot shot and he'll have to fall. So here comes the flash. Oh, the shot came first. Needs to drop on out.
Oh no, that's a very brave. Stick around.
Hello, Governor.
Fozy, you've overcommitted there. Now you got the whole team than that.
Through the wickets.
There's a nasty way to go down. That little stick around for the third peak. NBK punishes it as the drilled vet will.
I'm curious to see here. This is a round that I'd love to get Kasad and Yanko taking a little bit more of a look at. Do they think this was a read of the setup of NiP? Because it was a bit heavier in the banana control, right? Maybe they're awares that with that banana control, they leave one player hanging, because you could see the instant CT spawn smoke was already there. The util they used, they ran him down, and then they were committing to B. It wasn't just for control, right? I'm sure they would have reacted differently if the response from the CTs was differently, but that looked like they read the CT maneuver and they countered it accordingly.
Well, I mean, the confidence by which they rounded that half wall after they saw Fozy jumping on it, they did run him down, and a missed shot between the 4 of them that peaked does leave us with 9 still standing as the round concludes. Counter-Strike has many ways and shapes and forms it can take. That's one very neat and tidy round from the MOUZ Sports boys, and they'll start to build the bank as well. Their coffer's a little more full.
Yeah, that's the first round back for them in 3, and the first time in those 3 that they've gotten the bomb down. So good stuff here. One of the key factors we talk about is at least getting into the sites. And the thing with Inferno as well, maybe you're just joining us, maybe you haven't watched Counter-Strike in years, but retakes on this map become very difficult for the CTs, right? So you do see quite a lot of saves, but there it is. Like, it's such a flustered position for him to find himself in. Get it from both ways. But look at him just being swarmed, right? There's so much chance for a collateral there of the AWP, and also so much chance just to miss that shot and go down. But guns back out, Fozy's AWP equipped.
Oh, I'm worried about Plopsky. He's trying to mantle through the smoke. They may not expect it. Back turn, quick headshot, NPK. Knocks Esatag for 6 into the stands. His head finds itself, and now, well, they will reset. A big smoke is just a little too much to ask from MOUZ. Things will slow down.
But they're not believing in the B commit here. They've left Plopsky over towards the B site alone. Hampus flirted with the idea of rotating, but they're keeping that AWP over towards the short side, Hampus over towards the long side, and Rez to deal with departments. So the 3-pronged A defense is still set up.
Flashed off the line. Fozy not going to be caught out this time. That's a very good time.
That could be meaty.
Yep. Softened up. Torshi. Frozen.
I respect the attempt.
I'm having a go.
Better than me.
He's got more where that came from. A second from the Hampus.
Yeah.
That is top spin to perfection.
And that's harassment, isn't it? Just that's another element of this nade dropping. We see it on CT spawn on Dust 2. We're seeing nades get siphoned over towards the B site for control, and now we're seeing HE's left long for Hampus to dunk on their heads.
Yeah, and not only do we have the evidence that, as you said, NiP weren't biting this B bait, Hampus demonstrates it with 2 nades right onto the 3-man stack. A kill converted. Dexter doesn't even see Hampus before falling.
That's one of the things. If you want to play this slow type of Counter-Strike, a bit crawlier, you can be exploited by util or well set up aggressive maneuvers. But back to B, Plopsky's passive. This is looking like a retake setup. Plopsky's not committed to this.
He's handled it well before from that back of sight.
Fozy still has a full set of nades. If he gets here in time, he can throw a molly, he can throw flashes for Plopsky.
Sentry's fading. It's fading now. He does replace it, and a high flash for the first swing. Plopsky as it fades. 5. Just looking to delay, and there goes the bomb. Frozen's gone.
Someone's going to get on it. They're saving?
They have to. Dorsey's just trying to survive now, and the hunt likely to be left at that. Wow, 2 weird rounds back to back. The clock gets the better of MOUZ, and that's also power to the people in mid. And
I just had a quick little look. The utility damage for Hampus before that round of play was 144. After that round, 287.
Okay,
so a kill and a half right there from Hampus's utility damage. But this is one of the keys, is just understanding how you can use and the thing is, right, this is what we talk about with these type of additions. When they first come into the game, they're never going to be as explored as much as they could be. It takes time, right? It takes a lot of time for people to tweak and use this in the current version of the game. But great trade there from Plopsky, who kind of, well, didn't sell Esatag down the river, but was in a position where Esatag was going to be the first point of contact. So Aussie with a consolation frag indeed, but we are back after a timeout. Now, MOUZ have charged up Banana. They've been swung back between the 2 choke points of mid and the B site. Let's see if they want to chop and change things up now. Torzi has a very good spawn for this. He could go aggressive with the AWP, maybe a bit of a Zywoo-esque maneuver, and the same for Fozy top mid.
He's going for it. At least having a first look.
This is the Zywoo.
Yeah, post up, wait for the flames and continue your crawl. Esatag can jump for info on this. He flashes and does just that. Oh, he gets the frag with Plopsky combined.
That's really good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the protocols to get the info double peek, it's hard to really fault. And Torshi's gone. Just going to have to watch now.
Looks so well rehearsed, right? Like when they're doing those little, but it's just the details. It's the theory that you were talking about. Now, Bymas might have to activate here. Is he going to be a passive lurker, a little bit more aggressive, has a lot of room and early. There's the flash.
He has a look. Oh, he's been timed twice now out of the apartments. Good for the frags. It is Bymas. Esatag stands his ground. Dexter and MBK shut down. MOUZ looking to concede their 6th.
This is so difficult for Frozen here. Like, Esatag is ready to make, was ready to make a bit of a maneuver. There's a flash in the hands of Plopsky. I think they're thinking better of this scenario now, understanding that they have a 3-man advantage over the poor man of Frozen here.
Yeah, he's no slouch, is the Slovakian. Keep your eyes on Plopsky and Esatag as they do turn tail and will look to engage together. Seize the advantage you have. You have the numbers, and Frozen ready to punish. Will he be ready for this one? He's running his pre-fires, but Esatag will find 3. And that actually puts him up to the very top of the scoreboard. 10 frags for the Dane. MOUZ Sports 5, and unfortunately swallowing the bitter pill of 3 unable to buy.
Okay, well, it is a bit back and forth, but as far as the string of rounds go, it's going to be 5 out of the last 6 in favor for NiP. So the tides of this first half are definitely changing here. We had the Force by Wars early. MOUZ comes on top of that. They get the financial buff. But again, it is just these pistols for MOUZ. This time it's a little bit more potent than the previous. They had P250s and Glocks. Now it's Deagles aplenty, 5 of which. And a little cheeky from Hampus here, maybe taking a unnecessary risk, but Hampus, he knows what he's doing. He knew what he was doing. Bymas has other plans.
I think we call those liberties, Chad. He's taken them, and he's swallowed a Deagle bullet to the dome. That's the punish you need out of players like Bymas, and it could lead to more. Great nade, though. Fozy gets some utility damage of his own, and they are pushing him. What are you up to? Julie's out, needs backup. Will Tuck.
Oh, the banana push. Look how quick they're going banana.
They're coming fast, and that's quite the shot now. An AWP as well falls into enemy hands. Rez trying to pick up the pieces and has done so. Sweeps 3 under the rug with 1 spray. Esatag does not let it slip either. Damage control converted. That nearly got scary.
It could have gone so out of control, because if they went mid to B, right, which the reason they didn't here, you can understand why. They would have been, in their mind, they're expecting the rotation to come back through CT spawn. But what we could see that it was a full-on banana push right there. They had a chance to thread the needle, get to the B bomb site, and potentially even fortify with it picked up AWP. So a nice shot there from Dexter to make this one spicy, but Rez, the necessary shots hit. And you can see here the M4 really just playing on in. There hasn't been an awful lot of the M4 headshots coming out of the guys from NiP. I was just looking at the headshot percentage, for most of which it's under the 50% mark. So the M4 body shots playing a big role with the util damage. But, guns back out for MOUZ. Now 5 on the T half, pretty good. With the way the map's trending in recent times, there we go, the scoop up of nades. You can also see those drop nades on the radar, I do believe. But yeah, with the way that Inferno is going, I feel like it's an 8-7-9-6, right? Once upon a time, nothing like that. But these days, fluffed his lines on the nade just there, didn't he? MBK!
He's having a real game. Oh, the revitalization of MBK. Yeah, and I mean, check the headshot percentage, as you were saying, right?
For the CTs, it's not great.
At the top of the scoreboard, and he's still got 87% headshots. Like, he is just banging people out, straight up. And Torzi's doing the same onto Hampus this time. So MOUZ, as you discussed, looking to keep this one very, very close. Rez passed the test against no armor. It's going to be a whole lot harder. Unfortunately, considering his fight, he's made it very clear where Rez is. The smoke towards the apartments will at least enable him to focus his attention on this double from short and long side.
It needs multi-kill here.
Yeah, where's the support? I mean, they can't leave the smoked off. Esatag and Plopsky are here, but Rez turns to flash. Oh, there's a second. They've done their due diligence. He still stands for 1. It's just insufficient for some sort of a gap close, and now Esatag is just going to look to try and get some economical damage done, or maybe even scoop up an AWP.
Yeah, so right now Hampus is the only one who isn't in a range of a buy. Lost bonus into the next one, they're going to be that 1400 mark because they are bottom of the barrel. So saving your guns here and just making sure that the last, what will be 2 rounds of play is fully equipped. You can understand why. But yeah, MOUZ keeping this one competitive here. It's good to see. We do have Vertigo up next. The desk was talking about that, how they were picking into where MOUZ went last time, and then the third and final, Mirage. So we've got a lot of recent evidence to talk about of the Mirage games for MOUZ.
We've got a lot of love and appreciation for Torchi as well.
Oh, yeah?
Just that
respect.
The interview, yeah, the interview with Heku, like, he's already just, you know, he's already doing better than Alo ever did.
Bit of swagger.
Yeah, he's not just saying yes. And he's giving us a lot of taste of revenge. He's chasing that. Let's not forget Katowice Dream cut short by this very team. NiP, admittedly not necessarily with Fozy.
You can see the way he's saying it with a smile on his face. You know, he's playing the game. Yeah. You know, he's playing the game.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, right? Like, this is obviously serious business. These guys spend a lot of time doing it, but we're here to give everybody something to get excited about. Oh, lordy.
Yeah, none of us are in sponsored teams playing video games professionally without those that watch it.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys.
Appealing to them is definitely a good place to start. Apart from those that forget it's not like WWE.
Well, we could take it there. We've flirted with the idea. We've had some conversations.
Oh, there's some great storyboards of a crossover yet to happen.
Can't get the scripted part past the competition part, unfortunately. But there's those nades. Well highlighted there by the Obs team. Next to Mr. J. Raz, the sidekick of Rushley 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But the shots from MBK not too far off. That's a tag. Might want to scoot his butt back out of Banana.
Wasn't sure how I felt about it, but I've decided I do like Esatag's M4 with a little hangman on it.
All right.
Fancy,
converted.
Fancy schmancy. Now, they are grouped up in mid as it stands. MBK's the one that's got the responsibility of containing. Just as they arrive, so does the nade, and there's more. Here we go. Hampus is bullying them. Look at this. 3 nades, and all of them connect. He farms utility damage. A golf clap from all that observe. That was right on the money. And now the walking wounded are heading into the Esatag's domain.
This is going to hurt.
Okay, timing everything.
He's getting out.
Does get away. They used it defensively. I thought that was going to be the final step of the trap, but...
Hampus has rotated as well. They're reading the play here.
Yeah,
MOUZ are booked.
They drop the incendiaries. They're walking through flame. Oh, they're going to melt. Oh, like a snowman on a summer's day. They're gone, all of them. Just like that. A combination of util damage and information.
Booked, cooked, and shook. That's how that round looked, right? The nades, they didn't know what to do. The read from Hampus was great, and then getting cooked in the molly there in the final stage is beautiful stuff. Loving what I'm seeing from NiP, right? And this is the thing. You can sit here and you go, well, this isn't even the full force of this squad. That dialogue has to stop, right? This team has unfortunately been in this limbo state now consistently for the better part of a year. This is the squad they've got. This is the squad they're running with. And this is the squad that they're consistently picking up wins that most people think they shouldn't. Yeah,
maybe this is the Rock Lee training weights for Hampus. He has to lead with a different player every time.
Testament to Hampus' in-game leading ability, right? You have to, with all the different players he's had coming in. Heard from him personally, you know, not a fan of the rosters chopping and changing all the time. The same kind of sentiment out of Plopsky's mouth too.
Not a surprise.
They're making it work though.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the meta. We just change a player every event, harder to read. The in-game leader gets to do the puppet master.
Yeah, and you just essentially don't just have a random generator of who you field, so no one can predict your patterns. They're coming up, and that's a great flash. Fozy reveals himself short side. They will start to investigate Esatag's position. He's holding his nerve, holding his aim, and does do some damage. Frozen finished off, and there's the bomb. MOUZ, last round. Fozy on that glass cannon. He's going to have impact, and well, he does take down a collab. Teammate gone. Oh, and just through the flames, it nearly was the end of the round. Torsi's got 1 HP to work with. The nade, the shrapnel in his toes. He's walking on eggshells, and he's gone. Cracked. 9 for the Ninjas. We will swap sides and take a quick break. We'll see how this one shapes up. It is just the first map of our first series today. Could very well be the series of the day. So do stay tuned. We'll be back with your second half. MOUZ versus the Ninjas in pajamas. It wasn't too long ago, in fact, the 19th of Feb, we saw that Group A lower semi with the elimination of MOUZ and the crushing of Dreams that were really starting to pick up steam despite operating with a stand-in. MOUZ Sports Dreams cut short in Poland by the Ninjas. Now a chance for revenge. We're in Group A. Best of threes throughout for ESL Pro League Season 15. It's a big game with a whole lot of ramifications. NiP nearly securing themselves already into the next stage of competition. A win here would certainly look to secure it. NBK got himself the kit and the util. The rest opt for armor and aggression. Torshi's so blind. Now that is crossing your T's, dotting your I's, and flashing the face of the CTs. Bullets to them too. Rez with double. And well, Chad's here as well.
This could be a bit of trouble. Oh, as Frozen does respond. And Rez does too, so I think this one is done and dusted for poor Frozen. Esatag found himself in a similar situation over within the first half of play, but this could be 10, and I like what you're saying about NiP. I feel like they actually are in the best position to top the group if they win this one, right? Obviously, MOUZ is a difficult team to get past here. They still have 2 more matches to go over the next 2 days of play, but G2 had a loss yesterday, right? So if if NiP can go undefeated, topping the group puts you straight into the quarterfinals, whereas 2nd and 3rd in the group will put you into the round of 12. 4 groups, 6 teams, 4 weeks of groups. There is a best of 3 round robin. 5 games are played per team. And the top 3 will make their way into the playoffs in the final week. So there's a lot of words, if they make sense.
Yeah, and I wouldn't call Robin round. He's more big boned.
Rotund.
Rotund, certainly. Now, that was a perfectly executed pistol. You know, it only took us maybe 6 months, 12 months of CTs rushing down mid on the pistol to have a counter flash and a triple swing.
On the T side, you always hate buying U2, man.
Yeah.
You really have to do that.
But look how easy that was when you flashed the entirety of their CT aggression.
Let's live with Hampus this round, shall we? Rush the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you want to stay in the eyes of the in-game leader? We might even, I don't want to spoil something, but we might even be able to hear from Hampus a little bit later today, everybody. So hang around. But right now we're living on the shoulder like a parrot, and now we're in the eyes. So Hampus is the in-game leader of the team, if you guys aren't too familiar. So he's the man calling the shots. The weaving around the map comes from him and the input that his teammates give him. So they're up mid, they've got control. Hampus knows he's got 2 players worrying about long. He's holding off on short. He's going to flash now to set his teammates up. Bang! Sector clear called. They'll keep scaling. These rifles at range can smoke off arch side. They can smoke off library. And now they can wrap onto the site here.
I mean, that's exactly what this looks like. Frozen and MBK.
Set him up to lurk.
Oh, what a great little flash, but the Deagle was just a bit shy. Torzi going in for the repeats. Hampus thinks better of it. They are wrapping heavily now through the smoke towards the hay bales. A jump from the apps would secure that pit position. It's necessary.
This is getting a bit orky now.
Certainly, but they've got time to work out, solve the mystery. Plopsky starts, Plopsky finishes, and there you have it. A side is theirs, and these armored sidearms take one with them. Sorry,
Rush, and sorry everybody at home. I'm sure there's plenty of TT tours in the chat right there, but I did say let's hang out with Hampus, and we did. We didn't really get any kills, but you could see what he was up to, right? So, old Hampus here, just running around, having a good time. Very friendly gentleman, Hampus.
Certainly.
Likes, he's candid. You know, he'll say how things are.
Well, I think that's also a very good start in being a leader, is he's not afraid to speak truth. Speak truth to power. And we are going to be seeing an 11th already extended. Now, you know the Vito raised eyebrows? Was that because MOUZ previously picked Vertigo over in Katowice?
Yeah, and one of the things is, like, when you lose a map like that, you go back and you identify your mistakes and figure out where you can pick up those holes. But look, we're getting a look at this. This is a replay. This is beautiful. Nice camera work. That's the best way to show a site execute or a take is like this. This is where you can see the flight paths. This is what I like doing on the analyst desk. We could break it down for everybody. That's great.
I think in a dream world, we'd be casting those big chaotic site takes where you got like 3 on the site, 4 taking it. You'd have like exactly that view and a first-person view somehow with both eyes perceiving both.
No, I'm with you there.
I don't know how.
You could do like the site overview over the radar in that situation, but it would make it harder for us to call the flanks. But luckily we have our own OTV. So look,
maybe there's more to be done.
There's definitely more to be done. Not only in the way that we watch and observe Counter-Strike on the stream, but also how we present it in arenas. I think we're hitting the evolution point of that, hopefully soon.
Yeah, I mean, even the Kato stage, I just felt crispy. It was
very
beautiful
pretty
to look at, yeah.
Well, these are going to be 3 USPs, a 5-7 and a Deagle. I don't expect too much here out of the MOUZ side of things, unfortunately. Hampus, brave as you like, leading the charge.
I mean, they're not doing anything more than taking space and then on the fly with a smoke. This hasn't forced anything out, which I'm sure encourages them to advance. And yeah, those chip damage from Dexter converted by Frozen. Resmoking, continuing to progress, and Frozen's making the round interesting. If he was to click on another head, they'd be operating with just 2. He can chill. He's got Torshi with him, and Resin and Plopsky hanging out for the B take. Attack's been biding his time, hoping to catch them on the rotate, and he has. NBK gone.
Actually, a pretty interesting round, you know, when you just have that Deagle and the 5-7 with the smattered USPs, and if they can get anything more done here, they're going to be smiling from ear to ear.
Good setup from them, though. They know Banana's unlikely, what with S-Attack there, and they're focused on the 2 hottest of topics.
All right, well, call this one 12. 4 rounds now, NiP. Touching distance and picking up map number 1.
with Vertigo next. Could be very, very interesting to see how NiP have, what lessons they learned from that loss. There's no doubt they watched that demo intently, and now with the opportunity to play the very same opponent, albeit with Bymas rather than JDC. 12-6.
You know, Bymas is like the type of guy, like he's young, but he's the type of guy who looks like he's got his life together already. You know, like he looks, he just, for whatever reason, I just get that kind of vibe from him. There's people like me and you who, we still don't have our lives together, but Bymas is one of those guys who looks like he's got it going.
Yeah, I mean, I remember talking to Frozen a couple of years ago, like Montpellier. That's probably, what, 2 years ago now?
Bloody hell, yeah.
2 years ago?
2019 must have been.
Yeah, like, and he already spoke with a maturity that I was unfamiliar with at the time, you know, like as a 19-year-old, I was a man baby. Aren't we all still? But self-awareness is the first step.
They've dissuaded top banana here, but MOUZ aren't really playing for control. So this could be NiP just taking a slow one here. See Rez is just throwing more utility to keep her eyes healed. Dorsey smoked off.
Must win round, dare I say it. Captain Obvious puts on his underpants.
You bang on there.
CTs need this in order to continue to develop a competitive Inferno. You can see Hampus has set his sights on the first letter of the alphabet, and now it's a question of execution. Counting my util, I'm seeing 2 smokes, 2 Molotovs, 1 destined for Pit, perhaps 1 destined for that long side. That's if Dorsey's not forced off. He is now in retreat. A flash is all it takes to force the AWP. They know where he is on that side of the map. A smoke would go a long way. Obs for Library, smoked off for now. They'll molly it as well to get him through. Bymas has got his head on a swivel, multiple targets, short, perhaps, long, good finds. Torsy's doing damage as well. Everyone drops. Plopsky left alone. And he's not got much time before the mystery is solved. 3 from Torshi, and so many nades and flashes, smokes thrown towards him. He still manages to contribute in buckets and spades.
Yeah, good stuff there. Really good stuff. And I spoke about how difficult it is to play around that long smoke. Well, same one that was thrown from MOUZ has been thrown by NiP here. It felt like they had a lot of pressure applied, but it was just about stalling out this attack. And you can see the AWP, right? Look, he's not mollied out of vision. He's mollied out of the angle. He can't go wider, but you can still see his impact here. And they didn't choose to smoke off towards the library position. They threw the hut. Sorry.
Was that?
That was quite nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Okay.
Give us some more of that.
Yeah, I mean, he could be the catalyst to a complete reversal. Hampus wants to test the B players again. Now, MBK was fiery on his T side. Banana takes that one. Doesn't get much worse for Hampus. Good thing he was touching the S key as he catches the first. But Rez and Hampus now operating with the limb lost. 35 HP left on both of them.
Yeah, walking wounded here. Dexter's not biting on rotating towards B. They are going to leave Frozen on his lonesome towards the back of the bomb site. Dexter to take that arch side and Torsey to rotate the AWP to be a little bit more effective. Molly to land under the porch, flush anybody out, but Dexter's having a little bit of a looky-loo.
Thinks better of committing. Dexter has caught out the Fozy fade.
Yeah, this low HP you mentioned of Hampus and Rez before now becomes a huge problem.
Certainly does, with Bymas still looking set for success. Hampus doesn't let it stop him. He takes down the AWP and he's going to do the lurky smoke. They can sit around on the balcony and pick and prod at Bymas. Plopsky looking the wrong way. No supportive fire.
Need some more here, Bymas.
Drop. Yeah, he's isolated these jewels finally. S-attack, war of attrition 1. Rez doesn't have the health for this, but he was win the first. And now a one-on-one. Frozen late on the rotate. No, he's the B player. What do you go with this, Rez? Oh no. Looks away, but it doesn't matter. Rez! That is sharp. Takes down 3 in the round. Low HP, no problem.
That's actually a wild shot, right? There's so many things that you could be expecting with that rotation in, right? You could be coming through CT a little bit late. You could be coming out Banana. Could have been an Apps. Nice little shot there. Rez locking down the round, 13th on the board. And, oh, dearie me, it is going to get hot over there for MOUZ, isn't it?
That's going to be a real nasty one for Frozen to accept, just because you know how much that round win, that 1v1 on the low HP. He's looking the wrong way before as you turn the corner. I mean, Rez is just damn quick on his reactions. Look at Hampus catching Torshi here, by the way. Yeah,
the pressure in apartments, right? You've always got to be aware of that lurk and that scenario. Exactly. Bymas has done a lot here, right? The third, they win the rounds. The third kill, if it comes out from Bymas, they're able to pick that one up. But a timeout was actually called from NiP. Look at this. Oh, the shadow there. Okay, so it has just a slight, but that's a big one to win. Yeah, so that timeout was called by the Ninjas. So DJL on the mic here to kind of steady them into these last 3 rounds, maybe let Hampus know what the economy is looking like. And it is a buy, or back out for Torsey. And MBK, he's got the only omission of that 5-7 in his hands. Let's see if they can keep this one going, old MOUZ. Aggressive apartments, Torzy with the AWP. He's actually quite committed here. You can see this angle. He's crossed to the right-hand side of the stairs.
He has Bymas in support, and there's a lot on his way. Bymas has to keep him safe here. This has to be a very quick find. Oh, jiggled out. You can see his intent. Torzy, undeterred, reveals himself. Hampus tries wallbangs and pressure everywhere. Bymas gives it up.
Torzy's pushed down the stairs.
What? I thought he'd have been following suit, but no, he sticks around. He's actually going to fight for bedroom from here. This is aggressive. And full commit now, allowed to retreat. Bymas there to ensure his safe passage, but he's out.
That's beautiful. That's really good stuff from Bymas, knowing he can respond and help. Fozy needed that one. Dexter's got a second in the round, and this is falling apart for NiP now.
Oy, oy, oy. Yeah, we could be seeing MOUZ. I mean, in absence of a converted 1v1, if they can keep all 5 alive, put the 8th on the board, I think the slate wiped clean.
Imagine if they come right back here into MBK's 5-7. It's the perfect weapon for the job, and you can even see the alley-oop of the HE in Frozen's hands right now. Here it comes. Well, the shot's great. Oh, don't even need the nade. He's got it done. MBK, easy as you like, grabs himself an upgrade. Thank you very much, says the Frenchman.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. Well, you know what? That's almost better. They'll take that any day of the week, because with the round win sandwiched in between 2 CT rounds, MOUZ have the opportunity to start to run away with it. We are going to be seeing a likely eco, well, I say 1400 actually, never mind. Let's see what these Ts opt to do.
Yeah, and a second timeout consecutive. So the clutch happens, then it bounces back with a round like that. DGL had already called the timeout, going for another. Now, you're right. When you're talking about the money situation, with both teams now towards the bottom of the barrel, good stuff from Dexter, but towards the bottom of the barrel, the question is, do we force? And most likely the answer will be yes. You know that you're not going to be able to buy in the next round regardless. So go for the all-in and hope that you have a pocket strat you can run. Now, remember when Device was on this team? It's oh so long ago. But there was a strat, Alex, this is after the nade drop first came in, and you and I were watching it, and they boosted Device second mid on the above the door roof, and he would waterfall flashes, and they'd try and do that apartment pop. It didn't really ever work. We kept hyping it up.
Yeah.
But if they have a pocket maneuver like that to run, that'd be great.
Well, they are maneuvering the bomb and a 3-man pack towards second middle. We'll see how they try and break Bymas this time. Oh, he's going for a late nade on the setup. Just a little shy, too deep for the jump up. Hampus looking to take a lot of space here.
Quickly too.
Yeah. I mean, he wouldn't cross that line drawn. Does have a go, pulls a smoke out of them, so that's a win.
Those stickers are bloody relics right there, the LGB stickers.
They are. Ooh, Dexter's got to get out of dodge there.
Very lucky, isn't he?
An unpunished peek. NBK tries to clear
on a heater,
yeah,
isn't he?
He is. That's 18 and counting. He's even anticipating Frozen. Quicker with the M4. This can go either way, though. Even though it is just that Deagle and Kevlar. They're walking into the Lion's Den at this point. There's 3 set up on the site. Dexter admittedly cut down to 30.
Yeah, if they were actually able to go like holes and short, you can see Torzy disconnected and Frozen still over towards Banana. Now, this is not normally the way you want to go. Short is a bit of a blender on ecos or force by rounds, but Dexter being low might make him a little bit more skittish, right? He might not want to commit to the same fights you would otherwise. Here comes the smokes, so the commit not too far behind, 30 seconds remain.
Yeah. Torzy's vulnerable to being overrun by Tech 9s. You missed the first, and then that pesky pistol starts jumping at you, dinking on you, jumping and killing. Surely get them down eventually. He does take one with him.
Finds a problem.
Hampus trying to ply his trade on the Zoom banger. Bomb loss in the arch, and he'd just have to hit the most ridiculous, either hard clear. Bymas has caught the bomb. So round
that one done, shall we?
Done. He'd love to get another one for brownie points, but that's 9 for MOUZ. Torzy did very well to just getting run down by that and the instant dink to make one fall with him. But we all see the eco, and this gap will close, Chad. So definitely not out of the woods yet.
Taking care of business, aren't they? Should be 3 consecutive, no plants. Well, in the last 2, so not the injection of cash they were looking for. But that was interesting from MOUZ. They wanted to stay on the offensive. There was constant pop flashes mid. They made sure that Boiler was smoked or Molotov, making sure they could keep up that aggressive stance. Change it from multiple angles so they have to worry about just to the one. But early nade down mid, Torzy doing what AWPers do. Banana nades and first blood. Hampus is dead this time. MBK opens up the account. And this is a very pedestrian round here. We shouldn't be too concerned with how this one unfolds. So if you wanted to go grab a drink right now, maybe go to the bathroom. I know you don't need permission. Have you seen that video on the TikToks? It could even be on the Instagram stories.
Yes.
But it's this teacher at a high school. And she's walking down the hall, and it's in America. And she's getting asked, like, she's quite young, and she's getting asked for, like, hall pass and stuff.
Every time.
I work here.
I work here.
Yeah, like, imagine that, man. Like, you're just trying to do your job, and you've got other come on, guys.
It was always my pet hate was the teachers that would patronize you when you said, can I go to the bathroom? And they said, I don't know. Can you?
You know what I'm talking about. Just say yes or no. I need your permission because I'm a child.
Yeah, well, I think that I'm pretty sure like the world has moved forward since we went to school.
Really?
I'm pretty sure you just get up and go because you're a human being and they're not going to, you know, why would they set limitations on that, like such arbitrary
I don't know.
limitations?
Some of them like having the power.
Yeah, but misplaced power only grinds the gears and pushes people further away.
Yeah, but that's why most of us don't like school. But kids, stay in school.
Stay in school.
Graduate, and then go on your little dreams.
Yeah, just
be nice to your
a
mum.
little bit of time into the things that interest you outside of it.
Yeah.
We do see, at this point, another stack of util damage. MOUZ are getting their revenge, chipping away,
right.
spraying away. We'll check in now about that round 24 mark.
I was keeping track. Hampus had 474 in the first half.
Okay.
What's he looking at now? He's still 474. So no T-side util damage from Hampus so far. That deep mid smoke coming out from MOUZ there has stalled out proceedings, but still have plenty of mollies, a couple of smokes remaining, a few flashes as well. Regular stance here, a 2-3 split. Information, well, top mid currently has a couple of eyes prying here, there, and everywhere.
Frozen saw nothing swinging on that. That might be enough information at the cost of a little health to at least keep Torshi focused on long side.
Yeah, he's cheating over, right? He's on Speedway right now, so he's ready to respond to B. Frozen's actually pushed out a little bit further now, so Torsi will have to relocate, because up mid they come. Lots of util again over towards the arch side of things.
Yeah, they've smoked it this time, so he won't be able to contribute in the same way he did when the Molotovs landed. Dexter. Oh, actually, it's MBK that's chipping away. He rotated it nicely. Nades and bullets combined. Torshi actually hits one straight through the smoke, just a stray one. Klopski, however, a threat. Esatag jumping in, and Bymas does manage to keep a lid on it for now. Pody clears. Big frag to find, and Hampus late on the lurk arrives. Library's clear, and NiP set for 14.
Frozen's actually pretty quick up here, right? And we've seen him go for this maneuver a couple of times. Hampus with Spawn completely covered off. Frozen could actually circumvent the angle he's watching, but still is going to have a hard time winning this, and timing, it's a cruel mistress. Frozen's going to look away, and oh, Hampus misses.
Yeah, I guess the react just off the sound alone, but that's the round.
Yeah, I think we'll call that one 14, will we?
You wouldn't mind grabbing an AWP for Torch. Yeah, it's gone. And he's got plenty of cash to splash for one of his own. But 14 now to 10. NiP just whittling away at these T rounds. So far, a good haul, 5 in the bag.
Look, I wouldn't hate to see, and I don't normally love to see like double AWP setups here, but with like the fact that, or even just send Torsi over to Banana to get Banana control with the AWP, and then do like a 4-man mid setup, you know, a couple boosted on Porch, get up and continue to fight for that. Because it's quite clear that once they have mid control, they're able to apply so much pressure, they're intentionally trying to keep the AWP but in that limbo period of Arch, Library, CT, and that's key. So they're toying with the rotations. And a timeout called this time, and another one from TGL. He's called all 3 on the T half. And there was actually a stat line, I know the Desta was talking about the T sides of NiP. Remember we were talking about them a couple months ago. It was all about the CT sides, and their T sides were rubbish. So it's great to see this evolution. T sides, if you can have good T sides in a CT side of meta, which is where we're at right now. And look, a lot of people, they like to go, oh, this is overpowered or that's overpowered. I kind of look at it like this is just the meta we're in. Right? Like, this is it. You know, you're better off just sitting and dealing with it. You can have suggestions and you can do all that, but instead of just going, well, this sucks, work out ways of how to beat that, right? I guarantee you if you spoke to the Valve devs, that's what they would say. You know, is there another way that you could think about this problem, guys?
Or do we have to reduce the price of it so you'll actually listen?
Yeah, well, they're passive-aggressive, aren't they?
They are.
Or they're supportive parents who are nudging you in the right direction. Let's frame it that way.
I think it's like the parents that want you to work it out for yourselves.
Yes, okay.
No, the water's cold. Well, then get out of yourself.
Look how quick Esatag is on this. They are so wary.
Yeah, I think
he may have caught a glimpse.
He may have seen something to get his feckles up. Hampus, Plopski, Esatag leaning this direction. Torchi's not giving this one up. Lovely. Hampus gone. Posted up on the line. The Flames, a false sense of security. Esatag's still not going to be deterred from this. He is going to start his progressions through the apps.
There's still 4 smokes right now for NiP. That means every single player has a smoke on them. They can set up and execute, but an opening's better. Plopski onto Torsi now. AWP is down.
Okay, real issues now for the MOUZ defense, because Dexter, he wants to be able to contribute should they commit A, but he's also aware that he can't leave this arch wrap vulnerable to his B defenders. Means Bymas has got a whole lot on his plate as well. AWP to clear him. Dexter cannot commit for info, and if he does, he loses his life just like that. 50 caliber round to the rib cage. Plopsky, however, gone elsewhere. Bymas, however, kept honest. Just the one. He'd have loved a double just to buy time for the rotate, but this one feeling and looking like it is done. You can see they start to hit the S key and rescind back to B.
Yeah, need a save right here. This is almost it right now for MOUZ on their map choice. 15 is secured. 5 more opportunities now for NiP to close this one out in regulation. If we do need overtime, we'll be heading to an ad break and we'll come back with MR3. But the little update that has happened just before Katowice, I believe, is the 12,500 in OT. So maybe you've been used to the 16K, maybe you watched the major used to the 10K. I believe Blast have been doing the 12.5 for a while. And we're doing that over here now as well. It's a bit more of a manageable amount, you know, so you don't have like a bunch of AWPs bought.
There's a lot of like, it's funny how even in just 3 rounds, the CS economy is like a delicate beast. You know, there's so many different scenarios of bomb plants and quick 5-man wipes and double AWPs on first rounds that it can get really fruity. But I think the general consensus was 12-5 seems like a nice middle ground. You don't want 16 because then you know the investments have no weight.
+2, everybody has an AWP.
Yeah, bingo. Yeah. The last round, everyone's auto bang in the mid. But
God, we can't do that anymore as well.
True.
But you bang on, right? Like, and the thing is, with this, there's arguments for it. Like, there's a lot of people, well, the economy plays a part in Counter-Strike and regulation, so it should play a part in overtime. Whereas I've always been on the side of things, well, we just played the first 30 rounds of exactly the same. Let's separate the men from the boys. Bingo. With the gun
Everyone's
rounds,
got, like, it's a level playing field, now it's who's better.
Yeah.
I do think that's a very easy way to counter that argument. I'd love to have it though.
Because people, they talk about the power, right? They talk about the power of like pistol rounds. Well, that goes out of the complete conversation once you do get into OT. But here we go, chip damage again down Banana. Rez and Hampus taking a chunk of nade damage. Flash back, Hampus is able to connect lethal damage onto MBK, but what he's here to achieve. Banana control now taken.
NiP looking to finish it right here, right now.
Just again, right, you can see Torzi is being played within the rotation. The AWPer, so Fozy, he was committed short side a lot. Torzi's been playing long side in the arch. You know, he's over there towards B. He's trying to help on out the boys. And there is a gap here, but there's doubt in his mind. Is it actually a B? Is it a fake again? What am I expecting?
Weird smoke out of MBK. I think he just tried to underhand it. It's left a lovely gap for Hampus to try and be a lurky boy around if he was feeling flirtatious. Now the smokes from the T's are in.
Here comes the flashes.
And flooding in an entire squad now, converging onto Frozen's position. He does drop a nice divider smoke to get away. Divide, perhaps, and conquer. Swing through Emo. Rez is so quick on the trigger these days. 20 and counting as we hit the 4v4. We should be seeing the bomb go down. Plopsky punching in those numbers at the moment. MBK nearly just shy, though, into the... What part of the leg is that? The
shin burn.
Shin. Into the shins. Not a doctor.
Well, here comes the flashes from the CTs. They've got 2 on Bymas here for this retake. MBK's having a look, trying to clear out the close corners.
No nades other than the Bymas flash. This is the last one from the stockpile. Better be good. Turn nicely. Crossfire still here, but they're still getting the frags from behind. MBK's the threat. Rosie holds fast. Gets 2. Plopsky hiding in the pit, rotting the clock. There's too many men. He doesn't have the time, doesn't have the bullets, and NiP, unless he just holds it and the mouse disconnects. Fozy should.
Fozy
does close it out. Call it 16-10. NiP will take the first map of the series.
Yeah, and more conversation about their team, you know, having such a high floor. They're just playing at a good level of Counter-Strike. It's a solid level. They're not doing anything too far out of the box. The basics are done well. And you like to see it. Hampus, the in-game leader here, DJL behind him, the coach. And this team, they continue to do what nobody...